You have to be okay with letting a few people down in your lifetime because a lot of the things that you desire, a lot of the things that you want to be known for and make your heart sing, people are not going to understand that. In fact, you're going to go after your dreams. You're going to be in the midst of trial and error, and you're still going to have people on the sideline saying, see, I told you so. I told you, this wasn't going to work out. You're way in over your head. You're making the wrong choice. And that can be very heartbreaking for some, especially if you associate a lot of especially if you have a lot of respect for the people around you, even those that don't understand your vision as well. You're going to be very hurt and very insecure because following your dreams isn't always a sure success rated, and we all know what success really looks like. It looks like a lot of failures before getting that big thing and getting that big win. But any person who's ever cultivated success for themselves can tell you, I wish I'd done this sooner. That they're grateful for all the trial and error and that they never gave up. That's one of the most well-known phrases that comes out of the mouths of these brave people. And another thing is that what tends to happen a lot is that the people around you are not able to see your vision, because it's the same way people aren't able to see your actual dreams. Like when you have a dream and you're like, you had to just be there, you had to just understand, you had to see the dream in its entirety before you could really experience everything I'm trying to tell you and explain to you. And we can never, ever really fully immerse somebody into our dreams. It's just something near damn impossible unless they actually were experiencing it with us simultaneously. And so when you actually tell people about what it is that you're striving for and what it is that you truly want, they're not able to see what you're saying. You sound crazy, and that's okay. But you thought up all of these things. You are the person who's experiencing all of these things. So the crazier the better because then you're really staying true to your lens that you see your dreams through. And that sense of shame, that sense of insecurity, and that sense of feeling like you betrayed somebody because you are following your dreams are all sadly a part of the process, because they're going to push you. Those feelings are going to push you so much more closer towards what it is that you want. And I feel that the end result to all of this is what's going to give you that deep satisfaction and knowing that you really did it. Despite all those feelings, you still pushed through, you managed to push through. And fortunately, these feelings of shame and betrayal start to subside. People start supporting you and saying, I knew you could do it. I knew that you could make it. I believed in you. And you're kind of looking at the situation and saying, no, you didn't. You definitely didn't. But to me, that is like a sheer sign of the law of attraction in this, because as you shaped your reality and your perspective of the situation, everybody else's perception shifted as well. Some people, not so much. Even after you did gain success, they're still like, I think you made a terrible decision. How dare you do it that way? How dare you define me? And if you do experience those people in your life, I think it's very important to understand that they are very wrapped up in their own reality and their own perception, and they're not open to seeing that people have different ways to get to their destination that aren't the same views and values that they have. And they have the work to do, not you, because we're all in charge of our own lives. We're all in charge of what we do. And if you're so wrapped up in telling another person that they're wrong for striving after what makes their heart sing and makes them passionate, then you are the individual that has the work to do, because why aren't you staying in your lane? So to these people who have the audacity to dream, who have the audacity to go after what they're passionate about and turn it into success, I applaud you. I commend you. And you need to have those types of people in your life. You need to have people who are applauding you. Yes, we have the people who are practical too, because there is a sense of caring when you are concerned for somebody, but ultimately you know that they are powerful enough to cultivate this, and that you would do anything to support them. Have those types of allies in your life. Have those kinds of people in your life. Because we have too many naysayers. We have too much people who are wrapped up in this fabricated idea that we get to this destination of fulfillment, enrichment, and glory one way. And that's the type of energy that really makes shame fester, because we don't want to let down those people who we perceive as our allies. But our ally is the one who's going to stand horizontal to you no matter what, while braving their own storms and growing on their own. You know what I mean? We all have our own individual journeys. And it'd be a shame if we gave up what makes us unique and powerful because of the opinions of other people. I also think at the end of the day, we all want to feel satisfied. We all want to feel accomplished within our own right. We want to share our accomplishments with others, and that's why I think that feelings of shame gets into us so deeply, is because we start to question whether or not our actions and the things that we're going over are actually going to be things that can help the people around us. But I think that feeling of power and having those resources come from staying true to you, because you need to build sustenance. You need to build some kind of foundation that's going to allow people to enter in that space and feel satisfied too. But again, going back to that previous thought that people are in control of their own lives and they have the responsibility to feel satisfied for themselves. But then again, if you bring children into the mix, if you bring people who are vulnerable into the mix, and people you definitely just want to care for and make sure that you make them proud, or you make them safe because you have enough resources to look after them, those feelings of shame come rolling in, because you're like, I am not certain in with myself. I'm not certain that I'm going to be successful with this dream that I have. And those are valid feelings, because you're a human being. And like I said, you want to share this empowerment with other people. But where does the empowerment come from? It comes from that final place, like that when we feel like we've accomplished. So for some people, it's graduating from a college or university. For other people, it's actually landing the job. For other people, it's 5 years down the road when they actually start gaining, paying off their debts for student loans and a house, and when they actually have a house. But you're going to notice that there's so many layers to this. And we put the complications to them. We put that visor for ourselves and saying that we only have something to offer when we make success in one way. Again, very valid feelings, because we want to integrate into society. We want to integrate into something that is respectable and honored, and something that brings us in a lot of income. And again, I don't want to disrupt those feelings. I don't think that that is a negative thing. That's a beautiful thing, and it's a very tangible thing. So I think we can agree that at the end of the day, we're all just coming from a place of wanting to have enough resources to be successful. And some people go the route to just getting that rather than staying true to themselves. And then at the end of the day, they don't even have enough energy, enough love to give to the people in their life, which is the root of that feeling of wanting to share power, because it all comes from love. And so I would just begin to ask you, is how much love are you giving to the people that are most important? And what is the generator of this love? Is it your degree? Is it your job? Is it how much money you have? Is it how much cool things you have, that car? For some it is. Okay. Then focus on that. Really put a laser focus on those things. If it is your being, and being a person people who can depend on and go to, then focus on that. And start simplifying these things in your life and not making it such a negative experience to fail sometimes and not get it right the first time or the second time around. I also want to really bring into the idea of focusing on what it is that you want and disregarding everything that you do not want, because it is not important and it's taking up too much space. If you have this dream that you have, there's a lot of things and a lot of scenarios and a lot of situations that you're going to have to shed, and even things about you that you're going to need to shed, because it's like when you have a mission, you're given almost like a map of everything that you need to do and every place that you need to go. And in order to really complete that mission, complete that quest, you need to go through certain experiences, meet certain people, go to certain places. And the only way I feel that you can get this map that tells you where to go is through being still and jotting down what it is that you want to do. So a timeline, or writing down all the things that you're passionate about and finding what that mission means for you to getting there. And you could do this within a 10-year span, 5-year span. Honestly tap into yourself intuitively and ask yourself, how long do I think this is going to take me? And then give enough room for the universe to move in your life to get you there. Name all the things that you want, and don't be stingy. Like, really, if it is a car that you want, write that down. And then as you write these big things down, start breaking it down into what is tangible right now and most recently, and build up. And what are the steps to get there? And that's part of your journey. It's a part of one journey, many journeys that we have. But it is important to organize, because That's what the universe and spirit really likes, is when we are a little bit organized about what it is that we are passionate about, because passion is a very fiery, wild, unpredictable energy. But the way in which we actually materialize it is through being grounded and organized and practical. And that is why we have a lot of practical people in our lives that are telling us, are you sure? Da da da, you know, are you sure about this? Because they're so in tune with the practical and they do want to help you. But we need a balance of both passion that comes from you. It can't come from another person when it's in regards to what you are passionate about specifically. But they can help you in the practical because they are in your physical reality. And they can give you steps and guidance and things like that. But ultimately, you're the one that's going to actually be going through this journey and quest to find what it is that you want to do. And again, normal, valid, and important to reiterate. I think it's also important to be free and have fun as well, because we aren't here to just be practical. We aren't here just to work. We aren't here to be slaves to the mundane. It's just not in our spirit to do so. But we give a lot of energy to these things. And it's almost insanity. It's almost very incomprehensible as to why we feel they need to do these. But then when you really look at the situation, you start realizing that it is a simple, it's actually a simple outcome as to why we feel like we need to do it. But the moment that you shut that opportunity to have fun, to experience things more lightheartedly, and the way our inner child or who we were before all the complications really hit us, we start losing touch with our dreams, really, and we start losing touch with the things that we are passionate about, because that logical adult that tells you no, sorry, comes in and ruins the fun, because they've seen the world, they've seen how people failed because their dreams are crushed, and they don't want that to happen. It's a protection, it's a mechanism that we have to protect that part of ourselves. But I think we can all agree that through someone else trying to protect us, sometimes they've actually hurt us more, and that's not the end result that we want in this situation. So give yourself freedom to move a little bit more effortlessly and elegantly towards your dreams. It's just how it's supposed to be, because that's how the universe, God, whatever you believe, intended for. We built the expectations of certain things. And I know it can almost seem like, oh, I'm selling you a dream, I'm selling you a this unattainable thing. But I'm really not. I'm just giving you a reminder of the aspect in ourselves that wants to experience life and wants to experience satisfaction, and how we can balance the practical things and unpractical things as well. And it takes a lot of focus. And I know I said this throughout the video. It takes a lot of focus. So today I invite you to be more focused on your visions and your passion, and stop giving people so much power in your life. I want you to cut away all the distractions. And by distractions, I mean anything that is hankering you down. Anything that is hankering you down, I ask you to get it out of your aura, get it out of your energy. and start moving towards what feels right to you. Until next time, I am your host, Athena Smith, and founder of the Classier podcast, where we elevate our consciousness and cultivate a beautiful life.